I want to talk just a little bit about performance nerves. So you gave this little gem of advice that has stuck with me through the years. Back when in 2014, you told the story of going golfing with a friend of yours, and you were preparing for a Mahler 5 concert or some other big trumpet type of piece. And you were saying, you were nervous, blah, blah, blah. And he said, well, no one's shooting at you. And then you passed that concept on to us. And it became, I find that little things like that you can just repeat to yourself, like little mantras that contain a lot of wisdom. It could be a book. Mm-hmm. You could write a book about no one's shooting at you, right? But the sentence, when you're nervous right before a performance, you go, wait a second, no one's shooting at me. I just have to play the trumpet. Like, oh, okay.
That's right. And here's, the background of that story is that's my best friend, Dustin, who we met on the golf course. He had just gotten out of the Army. He was an Army Ranger in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was a medic for, I think he was in for 6 years. So he was a medic for 5 years. And then, so he's a medic, patching up guys on the battlefield, but also, carrying a rifle and having to fight. And then last year, he said he switched to what he called preventative medicine. He became a sniper. Got the bad guys before they got our guys.
That's a funny label.
But anyway, so he moved to Memphis. He picked it off of a map. He grew up in St. Louis, and he just for some reason, I'm going to go to Memphis. And he lived next to this golf course where I would practice every morning. And it's like, here's two nutty guys out there every day when it's 40 degrees practicing our golf swings. And I'm like, okay, I got to know this guy because we're literally the only two people here for the whole week, right? But anyway, so he had been in the shit and the Middle East. And so that was when he had a bad golf shot, that's what he would say. Nobody's shooting at me, and that was like some of the most powerful perspective I've ever gotten. Even better story about Dustin. A few years ago, I got diagnosed with IgA nephropathy, which is a autoimmune disease that affects the kidneys. And my kidney function completely declined to the point where they were gone. And Dustin gave me a kidney. He tested.
That nobody's shooting at you guys, your kidney donor.
That's right.
That's funny because I've legit kept that nobody's shooting at you as it's in my vocabulary as a teacher and as a player.
That's great. He's going to be very happy to hear that. I'm going to text him as soon as we're done.
Awesome.
Tell him that. I tell that story almost every day. I told it yesterday on the golf course to a guy I met on the golf course. But it's such a great piece of perspective, But so he tested and we were such a good match, I couldn't believe. He's a better match than my daughters might have been, but they weren't really eligible. But since it's an autoimmune disease, family donor, we share common DNA, and that heightens the chance that the disease comes back. Which it probably will someday, but knock on wood, hopefully they will be for a while.
Yeah.
But
that nobody shooting at you thing, I remember also the last night of Hot Springs Festival, we went out for beers and stuff, and my flight was like one of those 6 a.m. flights, and
right.
I was sort of looking at it like, well, the concert ends at 10. I'm not going to not say goodbye to everyone, so I'm kind of just sacrificing. I probably won't sleep, or if I do, it'll be for an hour or whatever. So we all got back at like 2 a.m. I slept till probably 3:30, and then the van picked up whoever was going to the airport. And I got there plenty early, like 6 a.m. flight. I think we got there at 4:45 or something. The airport was empty. And then suddenly the computers broke down. And I'm sitting there, and I'm a nervous flyer anyway. So any airport day, I'm just on edge anxiety-wise. And I'm thinking, I wasn't flying a lot back then, so I didn't even know, if I just don't get to the gate on time, am I just screwed? Am I just going to have to fork over $300 to, I didn't know they would, make all the arrangements for you if they mess up. But their computers crashed, and we're just sitting there. We can't check our bags and whatever. I ended up missing the flight. But that little wisdom, popped into my mind as I'm, sitting there, my heart's beating. I'm like, what do I do? And then I was like, oh, yeah. No one's shooting at me. I was probably still a little drunk, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
that's Hot Springs for you. Man.
So yeah, it's funny that I didn't know that Dustin is his name.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that was the nobody shooting at you wisdom. Yeah, definitely tell him. Like, I legit think about that at least probably once a day. Like because it works not just for music, just anytime you're stressed out about something.
Absolutely.
You're like,
it's the best
zoom out.
perspective
No one's
there
shooting at me.
is. That's right.